Alright, now that we got the sub base assembled, we're going to apply glue to the top of all three pieces. Not too much. You don't want to squeeze it out. If it does squeeze out, you definitely want to wash it off within a couple minutes. Glue will not allow the stain to penetrate into the workpiece. Leave a white blotch or a light colored blotch. Again, we're going to use the clamps. Partner helps to make sure everything's lined up. And you want to make sure it's flush along the bottom. Something you didn't think about when you were designing your back is having a flat spot along the back piece allows this you're able to use clamps in this step. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it by feel. Okay, we snugged up. Snug everything up. And again, that will pull it tight. Before I attach some of these screws, I'm checking the back with my finger. Make sure everything's flush. Be careful not to drive it too deep, especially if you're using a soft wood like we do in our class project. You can actually drive it right through the top piece, depending on how deep your counterbore is. Once you hear the impact driver change sound, that's probably good. I'll move the clamp for the last screw. And there we are. Next thing I'll do is I'll check for any glue and wash that out. Now after it's all assembled, we want to hide the screws as best we can. And that's done by using these plugs. Now you may have some provided for you, or you may have to resort to a plug cutter and drill them out yourself. Check with your instructor to see what method they've chosen for that year. Alright, all it takes is a simple drop of glue in the hole. Push the plug in by hand and tap it in with a rubber mallet. Hammer it down. That's it. That's it.
What are these for?
They're hiding the screws. Good. Now you want the plug to be proud. You're going to take a flexible handsaw later. In a few minutes, once it all sets and dries, cut it off and sand it down so it's flush and even. Alright, now that everything's assembled, all the plugs are sanded off, you want to go back over one more time with 220 grit and it's called soften up all your edges, making sure there's no sharp corners, everything feels smooth, you get rid of all the burn marks. Next step will be to apply the finish. And remember, the quality of the finish is solely based on the quality of the sanding job. Do a bad job of sanding, you're not going to get a smooth finish. Take your time, do this step correctly. When it comes to applying a finish and stain, you have a variety of options. Stain is going to color the wood. The finish is going to protect the wood. In class, you'll have a couple choices of stain color, a light and a dark. You can take it home and paint it if you'd like. Paint has usually got a finish built into it, but if you go ahead and stain it, you're going to need to apply a finish later. That can be done at home with a wipe-on polyurethane or a brush-on lacquer, or it can be done here with a can of paste wax and put 3 coats of paste wax on and buff it. We're going to go ahead and put a natural stain on and bring out the color of this wood. Just a little bit.
If I can do it, you can do it.